audio marks coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Jared, and Joe, the four horsemen of wrestling podcast, four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, marks of all ages, are you ready? Because...
You know what? You just made the list.
And welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am your reigning, defending, undisputed Marks for Life podcast predictions, CJ.
And I'm your other co-host, Jimmy.
You're not running on enough sleep and you're already loud. I'm Joe, and I'm already waiting for what CJ has in store this week. It's his first full week as champ.
Yeah,
It's a great week. Great week, you know.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty shit beginning of the week considering it was Super Bowl weekend, and that sucks.
We don't talk about that.
What was good though was halftime heat. Did you? I know Joe saw it.
I checked it out actually.
How was it?
It was really good. You know, it was a great break from work. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Keep them down in NXT. Please keep him down in NXT.
I'd rather watch Ciampa's abs in NXT than Adam Levine's abs on stage any day of the week.
Oh my God, fuck Adam Levine. But it was a great match. It was a great
Now, I have a quick question, and I feel like this is a stupid question to ask. Now, they're just running shows at the Performance Center now?
Well,
Or is it just like for special events that only run shows? Because they did that for I think Worlds Collide.
well,
that was
I think it's because, you know, maybe Full Sail University's booked. Because the only two places they really do is Full Sail, and it's another college in Florida, right?
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah, they've only done two consistency otherwise. But the Performance Center's nice because it's like you could rope a lot into that too. You know, you could rope in visiting the wrestlers backstage. You know, it's free. You don't have to pay for the venue itself. You know, you just move the cameras in there. It's a good option to just have it in there. You know. Unlike events like this, because more than likely they probably plan this halftime heat thing a week or so, 2 weeks in advance. So they were like, all right, you know, we'll just have it at the Performance Center because it's too late to book it at Full Sail or something like that.
Plus, it was only one match, so
yeah,
It was one pretty good match though.
It was a really good match.
So me and Joe were talking before the show started about this. Seeing that Fox is gonna air the Super Bowl next year, would it be really cool to have halftime heat as the halftime show instead of an actual halftime show? Or would PepsiCo be really mad that they're not going to get a music talent?
If they get
they can get Elias.
Oh man,
we both went two separate ways. You actually thought musical talent. I thought of someone that actually sponsors Pepsi.
Or we can send Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg to do a duet with My Baby Tonight.
Yo, fuck that shit, man. This is why I hate Raw and SmackDown. I just can't. I only watch YouTube clips, and it's only of the man. I can't do...
But Jeff Jarrett is a Hall of Famer and multi-time Intercontinental Champion. Yes, all of those were before the millennium, but he's still a multi-time Intercontinental Champion.
So is Razor Ramon. What's your point?
Hey, he beat down the Revival.
Don't disrespect Razor Ramon like that. He is nowhere near compared to Jeff Jarrett. Razor Ramon is a god.
I would love to see Razor Ramon sing With My Baby Tonight. Can we get Scott Hall on the phone?
Hey, yo.
Yo, I got a one-track mind, hey, yo. Razor, you gotta stay with the music. What?
Staying with my baby tonight.
I'm staying with Big Sexy tonight, right, Kev? He's gone.
His quads broke.
We released him.
All right.
But
yeah,
props to the match.
You want to quickly talk about Raw and SmackDown, even though it was pretty
Oh,
trash.
one more thing. Hold on. We forgot to mention. Joe, what'd you think of Shawn Michaels on commentary for that match?
I think you could actually get some good use out of Shawn. Don't put him on that damn pre-show panel. That means nothing.
I think putting him on the NXT... Because, all right, if you move up Nigel McGuinness to do the NXT UK shows and the 205 Live shows, I think having Morrow and Shawn Michaels as the commentary team for NXT...
But where's Percy go?
What about Percy?
He can
stick around. Percy's fine.
I think Percy would be better suited as a manager.
I like Nigel better than Percy, but I agree Nigel should be in the NXT UK shows.
Yeah, especially because he's more familiar. And I think Shawn Michaels would have great insight, especially if he's helping as a coach in NXT. I feel like that'd be
because we all know he was very involved in his wrestling school the first time, right?
William Regal.
Yeah, he's the one who trained Daniel Bryan, not Shawn Michaels.
They both trained him. Shawn
Sure.
Michaels is just more famous.
Not in UK.
Do we have to talk about Raw and SmackDown?
Oh, and one other thing from yesterday, Happy Birthday Big Show.
Well,
yesterday was the Big Show's
don't
birthday.
care.
Everyone cares.
Well, I like the Big Show.
Where was his one-off Rumble return?
Where was anyone who
Where
who was supposed to make a return? Where was their stuff? Like, I'm not gonna go into it because we're past the Rumble.
I'm very happy about Big Show. I liked him. I think my favorite run with him was 2012 when he had the World.
Did you like the heel turn, or the other heel turn, or the face turn, or the other face turn, or the heel turn, or the heel turn?
Or the face turn that went into a heel turn that went back to a face turn the following week.
No, it was the heel turn that everyone thought would be a face turn, but no one liked it, so it just went back into a heel turn.
Do you gotta narrow that down?
It was the one with when he beat Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Champion.
And then Bryan cashed in on him.
No,
Later in the year.
That was against.
Yeah,
that was afterwards.
But I'm saying that was the same reign that Bryan cashed in on him.
No, that was before. That was when he was
before
versing
that
Mark Henry. That was 2011, which I also enjoyed. But Big Show turned heel, and he had that really great match against Sheamus. What was it, 2012?
Now talk about the chairs match, are you?
No, the very first one, not the chairs
Okay.
match. It was like Hell in a Cell. It was a singles match, and it was probably one of the best matches on the card. Because they built up that bro kick so hard against Sheamus, and then Big Show was the first person to kick out, and everyone just lost their mind. And that was just great.
What about his Intercontinental title run when he beat Cody Rhodes?
What about it?
It's very good. And he lost the title because he stepped through the table. He didn't actually go through it.
I don't care anymore about that. But who did he lose the title to? Who
The
was
world title?
2013? Oh, you know who he fucking lost it to? Del Rio.
Yeah.
Last man standing match.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that.
Del Rio flipped.
Because that was supposed to be the match that really got Del Rio over as a babyface, and it did
didn't.
not work.
And we were supposed to get Jack Swagger as World Heavyweight Champion later on. But then he got
yes.
caught with weed.
Hey, now he's an MMA fighter, and he won.
Oh, yeah, he has a better record than Punk.
And then he did We the People after the match.
That is fantastic.
And everyone in the whole arena is like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's doing the damn Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, Jake Hager?
Yeah.
Oh, Jake Yeager. But, yeah. Happy birthday, Big Show.
Do you want to go talk about the Mania stuff now, or do you want to talk about AEW first?
Let's,
I feel like we should
let's
say the
dredge through Raw and SmackDown first.
I don't want to.
Well, no, because we also do WrestleMania speculation. That's what I mean.
But I don't want to dredge through Raw and SmackDown.
Well, I guess we could start with AEW, and then the second segment could
Can we
be
just
talk
how
about-
we set up Mania.
Can we just talk about Becky Lynch and the rumors swirling
Yeah, I
around
know,
her?
but that's what I mean by WrestleMania.
By Mania, yeah.
No, that's going into SummerSlam right now.
Yeah, SummerSlam's in August. Let's worry about WrestleMania
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
worry about WrestleMania.
Let's worry about the big four that's happening right now. We are not doing an hour-long suckfest of Becky Lynch. This is not how we're going down.
Why, you want to do one of Roman Reigns?
Well, when Roman comes back, then we can do that, and I'll let Joe.
I'll
take
do a
over.
2-hour suckfest on Roman if he comes back.
This is why no one listens.
Yeah, sure, that's the reason. Not
right.
not CJ's, constant
Okay.
screaming
All
and
right,
cursing.
so let's just try to drudge through Raw and SmackDown because I feel like that's because we kind of have to. Exactly, that's exactly how I feel about it. It was boring.
Hey, we
as
have a
hell.
Raw Women's title match now for the Elimination Chamber. Ruby Riot's going to get her head kicked in by Ronda Rousey.
I thought her arm was going to get broken.
Probably both.
I mean,
Ronda doesn't kick, though.
I mean, yeah, she does.
Does she?
She doesn't.
Yeah. I thought she just got kicked.
It's not a finish.
She just gets kicked.
And Becky gets punched. Square in the face. By the biggest fist in the women's division.
Shut up. Shut up.
Hashtag facebreaker.
Hashtag. But, oh, man.
It's not, you know what would be better if it was not a sucky Raw and SmackDown. That would be such a better thing to talk about.
No one's bringing this up, and this is making me upset. Ruby Riott is the WrestleMania placeholder for 2 years in a row. She did this last year against Charlotte.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she did.
I almost feel
She
bad
did.
for the ones who get title shots in between the Rumble and Mania, because they mean nothing.
Like Dean Ambrose.
I'm trying to think, who was it last year that Styles faced during this time before he faced
Oh, he
Nakamura?
faced Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and
Shinsuke. Yeah.
Not Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, fuck. It was another dude. It was Oh, fuck. Who was?
Rusev, probably.
No, it wasn't Rusev.
That was the elimination.
It was
chamber,
a fatal
right?
5-way.
No, it was Fastlane.
No, he didn't versus him. Fastlane, Rusev versus Shinsuke. On the same card, it was AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and someone else.
Hold on, I'm on it.
John Cena. It was John Cena.
And Baron Corbin.
Oh,
It was
fuck.
a six-pack challenge.
Fucking hell.
we all try to forget Baron Corbin.
Yeah. So, and look where those guys are now.
Yeah, they're in obscurity. It's really bad.
Guess what title wasn't defended on that show? Oh, yeah, the Universal Championship. Because Brock was still champion.
Like now?
And he was facing Roman, and he didn't have a match.
Like now?
Oh, God. We're back. We're just, back in the previous time, aren't we?
Yep. Ruby's facing, as a transitional challenger. You have Brock not being on the card. AJ Styles is involved in the WWE Championship picture again. So is Randy Orton.
That's part of the reason why I want to do the Mania speculation, because we're going to have to figure out what the hell they're going to do with Daniel Bryan.
Can we just... All right, you know what? Let's just talk about...
This is one of the worst This is one of the worst roads to WrestleMania ever. It's all right, here's the Rumble and road to WrestleMania, and oh my God, Raw and SmackDown have been terrible.
Yeah, the only good part, again, has been Becky Lynch.
What about Jeff Jarrett cracking a guitar over the back of Elias?
What about it?
And getting to stand tall with the Road Dogg.
What about it? Hey, all right, Elias gave birth to one of the best comebacks in the past 2 weeks. I don't think we brought it up. And it was just that Elias told Road Dogg to go back to SmackDown so he could tank ratings.
Yeah. But still, my question hasn't really been answered. Why the fuck is Elias heel again?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Why is Rusev and Shinsuke teaming up against the club?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know.
We forgot to mention the best part. EC3 made his Raw in-ring debut without saying a word.
Yeah.
And you know what it was against?
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, and you know what Dean Ambrose's best line was before that roll-up fucking victory?
What?
Nia, I know I have raw sexual magnetism, but I don't like you like that.
and I'm sure that Renee Young probably sitting on the table, her loins were getting all hot.
She's probably was laughing her ass off.
She probably had to take her headset off and just go, "That's my husband. That's my husband." Way to represent the love, baby. Way to represent the love.
He said raw sexual magnetism with the straightest face that anyone could, with that my raw sexual magnetism. I'm like, oh, can we just turn him face? We already know he's leaving after Mania anyway.
This is the Dean Ambrose we need.
Ambrose versus Nia at Mania, and he's gonna put Nia over, and that's how he leaves.
How much better would Dean have been if he was able to say be more PG-13 like that?
How better would half the people be? Imagine Elias's promos if he was TV-14 still.
He would be a Rock.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, that's possible. But see, this is why this is how you know Raw and SmackDown suck. Because we have to talk about other shit that means nothing to the brands because there's nothing.
All right, let's just go into Becky Lynch.
Bayley and Sasha qualified for the Chamber. Real fucking shock there.
Oh, and Fabulous Glow qualified by just declaring.
And of course, we got the new tag team stars of Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox.
Who's also partnering up with Mickie James on house shows, so yippee fucking yay, Nikki Cross is a heel.
Oh, great. Well, why are we turning all these people heel? We haven't had one babyface turn yet since the Rumble, and we've had 3 heel turns.
I don't know.
Do we just not balancing everything out?
Ronda Rousey's kind of heelish now.
Okay, so 4 heel turns. Again, where's the face turn?
I think I don't know.
Steph?
I think they.
Oh, God.
No, God, no.
God,
let's not get into.
Why does Stephanie McMahon have to get involved in every major women's? This is why we picked her as an entrant for the Women's Rumble last year because we figured there's no way she could stay away.
Look, but the thing is, it looks like it's going to be Steph versus Becky at SummerSlam, and I'm okay with that.
I don't know if I am.
I would be okay with that, especially because
my fear is that it's going to interfere with Mania, and then somehow it's going to be Stephanie versus Becky at Mania.
I don't think so. I think Becky has plenty of time to drop.
Look how shitty it's been since after the Rumble.
Becky has.
Becky has been more involved with the McMahons than she has been with Ronda, and I'll give Jimmy credit on that.
Like,
I'm starting to get worried.
I'm getting worried. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying I'm getting worried.
And they're really hyping up Charlotte taking Becky's place. And I'm like, no.
What do you think of the way that how they're going about with this?
Terrible. I think it's terrible.
I think it's probably the best way to get Charlotte.
This is why Charlotte should have won the Rumble. It would have been so much easier to just shoehorn Becky into the triple threat.
But I won the belt.
Now you got to do. now you got to do something that no one wants, and we have to force Charlotte into this match.
But this is how I win the belt.
That's another reason why it's bad. But all right, so Charlotte wins the Rumble. Great. Becky can do something.
Charlotte should have been going off at Asuka. I don't know why they're not doing that.
Because
Asuka's
find it going to destroy some poor schlub at Mania to retain the title.
Peyton Royce.
We robbed her of her Mania.
It should be Charlotte though.
We robbed her of her Mania moment last year. We have to give it to it.
We have to give
Was
the
she on
redemption
SmackDown this week?
No.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
I know.
She's a damn women's champion.
I think they just gave her a video package just to show how badass she was, and we can make.
But she just beat the most red hot superstar in the WWE clean, and you've had her not physically on SmackDown the last 2 weeks.
They're focusing on those SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, that's a great women's tag team division, isn't it?
I still think Io Shirai and Kairi Sane should have been in that. It
looks like Io Shirai's next in line to face Shayna Baszler.
I'm excited for that.
I can deal with that. I can do that.
I like
but
that.
I don't think
I would like to see her beat Shayna to the main roster, and send her to the main roster, but
we'll see what happens.
I think Candice LeRae should be the one to take the belt off of Shayna, and then the three other four horsewomen and Io Shirai and Kairi Sane get called up, because Io Shirai and Kairi Sane would be great additions to the tag team title picture for the women's division.
Tag team titles should encompass NXT.
I don't know why it's not, because you have a couple of tag teams down there like Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, like Four Horsewomen. You also have Team Kick when Dakota Kai comes back as well. And I think there's a couple of NXT UK women's
because you're not going to make the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. So
no, you're not.
You might as well just have it encompass everyone.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that.
And the women of 205 Live? Tony Nese?
Alicia Fox, sorry.
There's something I want to bring. That's actually an AEW topic we could talk about.
Yeah, all right.
But I'm excited. I like how Becky Lynch is getting involved with the McMahons, and I like how she's pretty much breaking Steph's arm, slapping Tripp's face, and it is real.
I like it from like the spectacle that it is. I'm just afraid that that's gonna interfere with Mania, and then I'm not gonna enjoy Mania. That's the problem that I foresee. That I don't want happening.
Unless this is how they rehash the Austin McMahon feud with Becky Lynch versus Steph, which I would be okay with.
But here's my problem. Brie Bella, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch. Why do we need Stephanie McMahon to keep putting people over?
I think I'm okay with it.
But she's not that good at putting people over. Yeah, she put Ronda over, but I mean she did it for one match and one moment. And it was more
Triple H putting Ronda over.
Exactly.
And the thing is with Brie and Steph was kind of a placeover because we couldn't have Daniel versus Triple H again.
Well, you could do it now, but no, we got to do a little eco bullshit.
Triple H could actually be the opponent for Daniel, for WWE Champion.
I would not be opposed to a Triple H face run at this point.
Is this where we go into WrestleMania's predictions, or is this when we go into AEW?
No, this is where we get into predictions. I mean, I have a meme one that I'd like to share because I thought this is so funny.
Do we want to go into each championship title picture, and then we'll go into the main stars?
Well, I mean, we already know Universal title is taken care of, and Raw Women's title should be taken care of.
Yes. All right, so let's go into the WWE title picture. Let's actually no. Let's go from the bottom up.
Yeah, we'll go from the bottom up. Now, do you think we're gonna get a women's tag team title match at Mania?
Yes, I think they're gonna push it. I think they're gonna push it over the tag team championships, the other two, personally, and I think it's gonna be defending champions. I want to say
the Raw tag team champions are gonna be in pre-show hell.
Yes.
So they're taking we know they're going on the kickoff shows. No doubt.
Unless to get to keep the revival, they put them on the main card and have them win the Raw Tag Team Championships that way.
Unless it's going to be Rude and Gable versus Lucha House Party again.
Then again, so let's just do an assumption. You say the Usos beat Shane and Miz. If the Usos are SmackDown Tag Team Champions, they're just destined to be on the kickoff show for the rest of their lives. So we know they're going on the kickoff show.
They weren't on the kickoff show last year.
Surprisingly enough. Right, yeah, everyone got murdered by the Bludgeon Brothers. Why do we need Rowan back like this? I want the Bludgeon Brothers.
Wait, you want You want the Bludgeon Brothers so badly because you hate where Rowan's character is right now.
Here, I got it. Perfect idea. So this is how Daniel loses the WWE title. Either at Mania or whatever. You know, they're doing their thing, and Daniel's like, he's like, Rowan, give me a chair. Rowan shakes his head and pulls out the fucking mallet. And I'm like, yes! Oh my God, yes! Harper comes out from under the ring, clotheslining Daniel's head off, and then there you go. Bludgeon Brothers are back. Bang.
No.
SmackDown Tag Titles, WWE Championship, instantly more
Wait
interesting.
a second. Another question. I just realized this. Why is Rowan friends with Daniel after Rowan literally destroyed Daniel last year for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships when it was Team Hell No versus the Bludgeon Brothers?
And Daniel Bryan went against the Wyatt family.
I don't know.
Are we really just not going to ever acknowledge the connection between Bray Wyatt and the Bludgeon Brothers again?
We're not.
Or Bray Wyatt and the Braun Strowman?
Where the fuck is Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, where is? Are we not going to acknowledge Bray Wyatt's employed by this company anymore?
So back to WrestleMania.
Okay, I swear to God, if Bray Wyatt does not return for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I am going to throw a fit.
Would you want him to win?
Yes, fine. Let's go with that. Do something. Or I would actually like to see Killian Dane win, but
I think. Do you think does anyone think the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is just they're just gonna take it off? They're just gonna be done with it.
it seems meaningless, but it gives them. No, the winners really haven't done anything. Baron Corbin, I guess, was the most successful after the fact.
No.
Or Cesaro.
No.
Who was the most successful?
None of them.
Yeah,
Who is more successful than the other, I think is the question.
Jinder Mahal.
He didn't win.
He didn't win.
He was the final two.
But so
he did win though.
Because Cesaro
But he
and
is right. He was most
Corbin won the U.S. title after the fact, didn't they?
He was what was this? WrestleMania 32 he was. He didn't win the US title until WrestleMania 33.
All right, so that doesn't count.
WrestleMania 33 was Mojo Rawley, 32 was Baron Corbin, and then he was in a feud with Dolph Ziggler.
Then there was Big Show at 31, and then Cesaro won it at 30.
Yes, and 34 was you know what? Fuck it. It was Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy was the only successful one because him and Bray Wyatt won the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I mean, we just need one more Hardys run at this point. Just one more match with the Hardys. Matt Hardy posted the video on Instagram of him doing the leg drop to Edge off the cage in Unforgiven 05, and he's like, my spine and coccyx still haven't forgiven me. And I go, yeah, because they're fusing together.
I'm not looking forward to this Mania. I'm just looking forward to Becky versus Ronda.
Well, hold on. Let's give it some credit.
No.
So let's just say Becky versus Ronda or the triple threat will be entertaining.
Yes.
The Universal Championship match, assuming Seth Rollins wins, will be entertaining because Rollins can work a good match with Brock.
Yes.
Where do you see the Intercontinental title going? Do we see it as Bobby Lashley defending against Finn Balor, or do we see it dropping before then and Finn Balor defends it? Ooh, what if Finn Balor defends it against AJ?
Well, no.
Just to give us something.
No, they're not.
So
they're not going to do
there's
that.
two ways I could see them going
not
with
unless-
Lashley: Finn Balor, or if he's healthy in time, Kevin Owens.
I don't think so. I think they're going to save Kevin Owens.
I think it's going to be Finn Balor.
I think they're saving Kevin Owens for after Mania. If let's say they do the AJ and Finn. Let's say that they will do that. I think that by that time, AJ's contract with WWE would have been renewed.
Yeah.
As of right now, that has not been the case because AJ blasted some random ass reporter on Twitter.
It wasn't a random ass reporter. It was Meltzer. You fuck.
Fuck Meltzer. He gave Ricochet versus Gargano 4.75 stars.
No,
how was that not a 5-star match?
It wasn't Meltzer.
Yes, it was.
No, it was some other wrestling thing.
I thought it was Wrestling Observer
I don't think it was
reporting.
No,
Wrestling
it wasn't
Observer.
reporter.
It might have been PW Insider.
No, it wasn't
No.
PW Insider either. It was like Wrestling Inc. or something like that. It was like a non-observer, non-PW Insider company. I remember seeing the tweet and
He's like, oh, where do you see this? Because I have no idea about it.
Exactly. And
But yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer. That was a 5-star match. Just like the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels matches at 25 and 26 are 5-star matches. God.
Meltzer. Joe, do you have Meltzer in your WWE 2K19 game? So
No, but I might put him in a handicap match against Ricochet and Gargano.
I thought you were going to put him up against the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, but we got plenty of things. Don't you worry.
it'll be him running the gauntlet, and it would just be the biggest dudes and seeing how far.
So
I think he sold Black and Ciampa short because he only gave that 4 stars. I think that was like solid, maybe 4.25. 4
maybe it's because he's got a hard on for AEW. I don't know.
He had a hard on for NXT at one point. He had a hard on for Johnny Gargano especially, but
Yeah.
now he's just gonna give Kenny Omega's going to have a match with fucking King Kong Bundy and it'll get 5 stars.
Okay, we'll get to the Kenny Omega in a second. Just relax.
I know I started doing WWE 2K Universe, and I haven't won a single match yet.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I've been literally blasting Braun Strowman with his own Universal Championship belt.
Yeah,
it's been a great time.
What sucks is
WWE Championship.
When you put when you start Universe mode, Braun Strowman is by default the Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
Yes.
So I'm like, I can't just have him not cash it in, so I had to have him take it off Roman.
Oh yeah,
that hurt me so much.
What was it? I had it. It was so I ended up doing it just like WWE Championship, Intercontinental, Raw Women's Championship. I got rid of the god-awful penny belts, and I put in, like, the World Tag Team Championships from, like, 02 to 09.
Those are better.
And then I put in the Becky as Money in the Bank winner.
Of course he did.
But she lost against Alexa. But what was it? I had AJ lose the... AJ ended up... Because I do, like, random. AJ lost the belt to Brock.
Why?
Because they were in a feud.
Fuck that. Fuck WWE.
Brock was always in the main event.
Well, yeah,
Fuck
that makes sense.
Fuck that.
But then Braun cashed in and beat Brock.
Okay, I can handle
And now
that.
I'm in the Money in the Bank picture, and I want to cash it in on Braun.
My briefcase holder is Drew McIntyre.
That's nice. That's
So,
nice.
but I'm just, I don't know. Let's just toss Meltzer out for a minute because you know I can vent about him any day of the week. It's just so Mania.
Back to our original topic.
Right. So all right, WWE Championship.
I think John Cena is the only logical competitor against Daniel.
Unless no, because Ray and Almas are still feuding. I'm sorry, Andrade, because he's not Cena and Almas anymore.
What about
Jeff
Orton?
Hardy?
No. Orton, I don't see that.
Could have a match with Joe at Mania.
I think I could see it more being Joe than.
So is Orton a face now? Is he kind of the face turn we got? Because I like Randy Orton no matter what. You know, as long as he's not dicking people around. I mean, what?
Who's big enough to verse Daniel? That's the hard part. Orton is a possibility, but he looks like he's wrapped up in a Samoa Joe feud.
Mysterio's with Andrade.
You know, yeah. So it
Cena might not even be at Mania.
Yeah, Cena might not even be at Mania. Triple H looks like he's involved with Becky.
Unless he says, "Fuck this, Steph. She's your problem. I'm going to take care of our Daniel Bryan problem."
Possibly. AJ's done. That's dead.
Shane McMahon. He just he doesn't turn on Miz. They're still SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and he beats Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship.
I think that's the most exciting part about the WWE. Usually we would have an idea around now who would be versing Daniel.
Yeah, but is exciting really the word? It's more like
intrigue.
Because there's not really enough main event talent on SmackDown. Not enough main event babyface talent.
Yeah, the only one they have is
AJ. They need another reset after the reset they just had.
They need another superstar shakeup.
They need a
cleanse. I think they did announce that. I think.
Yeah, it's an international one in Montreal.
Yeah, it's gonna be
April 13th, 14th.
Yeah. So that's like the week after Mania.
Yeah.
Great. Is that gonna be like an actual shakeup, or is it gonna be like they're bringing people from like UK and stuff? What's the deal with that?
I actually thought they were actually going to shake it up by having NXT UK poach some main roster stars. But no, it's just because it's in a different fucking country.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, what's the shakeup going to be? Oh, you guys get Hawkins and Ryder. Why? Why do we need that? We need someone else to get into the big championship picture. All the big names are on Raw.
All right, so...
Get Cesaro and push him.
All right, so before we head off to AEW, do you want to listen to some... meme match cards that I've acquired on the internet that I found really funny.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Let's do that because we have no idea what our predictions are.
Because at least then we can actually talk about like, wow, what the fuck. Okay, so
maybe we should wait till after like the Chamber.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Like literally, it's only two weeks from the Rumble. We got zero clue.
Yeah, let's just wait till we for the actual one. Let's wait until the Chamber. But let's go through this meme one because I found this just absolutely hysterical. So these are basically just meme ones. They're not real, and they're clearly a joke.
I mean, you know what? Vince might see them, and some of them might become real.
Here's the first one. Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal. The Beast versus the modern-day Maharaja. The WWE needs to give back the dream match we missed out back in Survivor Series 2017.
That actually happened in my WWE universe, where it was Jinder Mahal versus... Oh, no, that was Braun. But it was the same shit.
WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. The ultimate rematch for the WWE Championship, renewing their rivalry from 6 years ago.
Who is this?
Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan.
I think that is probably the most likely.
Yeah, that's logical.
Besides Daniel Bryan versus Cena.
Raw Women's Championship match: Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, the baddest woman on the planet, finally succumbs to the greatest woman wrestler of our generation.
You mean Jillian?
Oh, God, here's a good one. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Stephanie McMahon. Asuka needs to prove her claim to be the Empress against the billionaire-dollar princess.
I would be okay with that.
I would not. Don't even consider that. I think we should have a last woman standing match between Liv Morgan and Brie Bella's foot.
Oh, my God.
Last man standing match. Becky Lynch versus Seth Rollins.
All right, here's another one. Intercontinental Championship match. Bab versus Carlito 2.0 as Bobby Lashley versus No Way Jose.
And Jose wins?
I don't know. Oh, my God, here's a really good one. United States Championship match. R-Truth versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker chases after a title he's never won.
He's also never won the Intercontinental Championship.
However, this may end up being his greatest WrestleMania challenge yet.
Hey, how is he going to deal with little Jimmy? He's invisible. It's difficult.
What was he going to do? Get Michelle McCool to take out Carmella?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We may have just stumbled upon something.
I forgot R-Truth was United States champion.
It had just happened this last week. How did you forget already?
I forgot who was U.S. champion.
It was so bad that we forgot who champions were.
I remember CJ putting in the chat, wait, R-Truth is champ? I go, yeah. He beat Shinsuke, and then he beat Rusev.
And then they both beat up R-Truth.
So wait, where was R-Truth on the show? So wait, they were missing 2 champions on SmackDown.
Yeah, but the Good Brothers were standing up for R-Truth, so it kind of counts. If you don't think about it.
You deserve to get kicked in the nuts.
Okay.
What are you, Shinsuke Nakamura?
No, that'd be like. I'm more of a Daniel.
All
right.
Next one, Raw Tag Team Championships: Rude and Gable versus Lucha House Party. Lucha.
No, I'm good.
Lucha House Party rules.
No.
James Storm comes out to even the odds and we get a beer money return.
I would be okay with that if we got a beer money return, but we're not.
Okay, so the next couple ones are quite amazing. So SmackDown Tag Team Championship match: The Miz and Shane versus Triple H and Vince. Quote by Shane: "Maybe if I win, Dad will love me."
Well, it did for Miz.
Yeah, but clearly Triple H is the favorite son.
This should be what co-main eventing WrestleMania. It's an undisputed Cruiserweight Championship match. Hornswoggle versus Buddy Murphy. The man who never lost his title faces the imposter who gets to sleep with Alexa Bliss.
I think I just saw the life just draining out of CJ's ears.
This should be main eventing, though. It's a John Cena on a pole match. Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. John Cena on a pole.
But the thing is, Becky's with that MMA fighter.
And Nikki is with the
no one wants John Cena. No one wants.
That's why it'd be funny.
I think it would have been better if it was Mickie James versus Nikki Bella.
All right, so next one's would be kind of fun. Winner declares greatest announcer in WWE history. Greg Hamilton versus Tony Chimmel versus Howard Finkel versus Justin Roberts.
I thought Howard Finkel died for a second, but then I
realized. Oh my god!
No, you're thinking Mean Gene, you ass! Oh my god!
Not the Fink.
Okay, I'm not gonna go with.
Wow.
All right, so this is a number one contendership match for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Kurt Hawkins. The last great streak of WWE. Will Styles end it, or will Hawkins lose and continue the greatest streak of our generation?
Goldberg versus Kurt Hawkins. The battle of the streaks.
Oh, here's a
Ronda versus.
It should have been
Kurt.
Bianca Belair versus Kurt Hawkins.
Ronda's undefeated.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. Singles competition.
All right, fair enough. Here's a very progressive, forward-thinking one. Braun panties match.
No.
Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin.
Oh my god. I just thought of Braun Strowman in panties. Wow.
Oh God, here's a good one. Here's goes 5 stars for Dave Meltzer. It's a 60-man Iron Woman match. Eva Marie versus Brie Bella.
Jimmy, stop.
It's going to be an 11-10 final.
Here's an actual.
I just came to talk about AEW. Can we stop?
No, I have a couple more left. Hold on. Here's an actual funny one. So the winner gets to be called Shawn Michaels. It's Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels.
I'm not laughing.
Sasha Banks versus Corey Graves. I don't know why.
Not laughing.
And then Ross Twardell of Cultaholic versus JBL.
Who?
Yeah, I'm with that. King Ross versus JBL. I'm with it.
JR versus JBL?
Mauro Ranallo versus JBL?
Mauro Ranallo?
John Cena versus JBL? Who gets to be JBL?
No. Stop.
John Cena's going to turn heel one of these days.
Yeah, hopefully.
He did, remember? He turned heel.
Yeah, in like 2003. That counts.
No, he turned his heel.
Oh, yeah, right. He's going to do the Lightning Fist.
Hey, that is a great finisher.
That's a great finisher. What is the...
He's going to do the Lightning Fist to, like, someone who's... to, like, Seth Rollins, and he's going to turn heel.
I'm not going to be mad about that, though.
Leave it to WWE to turn John Cena heel when none of us actually care about it anymore. You guys wanted it? No, not really. We just want him to be gone now. We want him to just cut his hair.
Yes.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Hair versus hair, Elias versus John Cena. For the love of God, Elias, do the world a favor.
All right, let's talk about AEW now because we're pretty bored.
You want to? Let's just take a commercial break.
Okay.
Obligatory.
If one day I'm called up to the big house, if I'm called, they'll have a funeral. I want you to bury me face down, and then all of my critics can kiss my ass.
I didn't criticize him. I don't know what you guys. I just literally thought Howard also died.
No, you're wrong. You disrespect the Fink and you disrespect Mean Gene.
So I do want to know, did they respect those wishes for Mean Gene?
I don't know. That'd be a really good. I really hope they did. I really hope they did.
CJ just associates death with random people in wrestling history he hasn't seen in a while.
Pretty much. They're all. You know,
Wow.
it's really sad.
You haven't seen Eugene in a while, but he's not dead.
Oh yeah.
Where's the Eugene Royal Rumble retain?
I don't know.
Uncle Eric, I'm in the match. Uncle Eric hasn't been in the company for 10 years.
I don't think that's politically correct anymore, Joe.
Hey, what was wrong with the character? He was just a fun-loving guy. He was just Eric Bischoff's nephew. There was nothing else beyond it. And he liked legends.
All right. Anyways,
Okay,
onto
stop.
AEW. Did anyone watch the press release, or is it just me?
I think you were the only one that watched it.
Yeah,
All right. So I watched it and I loved it. I think the commentary team is the two hosts from the
All In.
from the All Elite Wrestling rally against Jacksonville. One of them, his name is Conrad. I like him.
Conrad Thompson. He does a whole bunch of wrestling podcasts.
I think he's going to be part of the
WML.
commentary team. Good.
I like Conrad.
As
I
as
love
well
Conrad.
as Excalibur.
Awesome.
Excalibur was-
I love Excalibur and Conrad. I love them both.
Yeah. So that's a thing. And there's that other dude. I don't know what his name is.
You have to describe him.
He's a white guy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 90% of AEW's roster.
I know. I'm just saying that
I scratch that 70%. I'm being forward thinking
it's
because they announced some other people, which I'm pretty impressed by.
yeah. I'm trying to pull up the current roster right now. All right, but anyways, MJF and Conrad
Thompson.
Yeah, they seem to be having like one of those weird feuds.
Oh, so it's like how Corey Graves doesn't like a particular wrestler, but continues that.
No, it's more like MJF just continuously fat shames Conrad by calling them turkey tits.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's solid.
Let's see, and then who was it? Cody Rhodes came out and announced a partnership with OWE,
Which is the Chinese wrestling promotion,
which we did know about, and then we also had him partnering with AAA, which is insane, for them to get all that lucha talent.
Yeah.
So they do have that partnership. And then they brought out this Sammy Gervais guy. I don't know who Sammy Gervais is, but
Isn't it Sammy Guevara?
yeah, him.
Yeah.
Was it Ricky Gervais'
Yeah,
cousin?
no, I was like, wait a minute, are you talking about Ricky Gervais? I didn't know Ricky Gervais loved wrestling. Wait a minute.
What? He was a guest star at one point, I'm pretty sure.
I get.
No, I think you're thinking of Jeremy Pivot. That's different.
No, I'm not thinking about Jeremy Piven in the Summerfest.
Yeah. What was his name? His name was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck his name is.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, he's representing AAA. He's their cruiserweight world champion.
All right, that's cool.
He looks stupid, and he reminds me of a stupid millennial because he tried to plug his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to make a character, like, yeah, go do that. That's great.
They also included Sonny Kiss, who is an LGBT wrestler.
All right, that's cool.
You remember? You guys ever watched Lucha Underground, like the first season?
Yeah, I watched some of the first season. Yeah.
Remember the Pimpinela? Yeah, Pimpinela Estrella, whatever.
Yes, I love Pimpinela.
Imagine that, but black and young.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Let's just hit the nail right on the head. All right.
Sorry, I laughed way too hard for that. I'm sorry.
But I haven't heard of these wrestlers, but they're really like, he's very gay.
Oh my god!
All 6 people just tuned out.
They're in Mexico. They have like instead of
no, he's not Mexico.
No. But he's part of the. Would you say he was part of like the AAA promotion or no? No, okay.
No, he was just
because when you brought up Pimpinela, I was gonna go into like how they kind of set up their divisions a little differently than they set up.
I think that he's just getting added to.
I wonder if they add that. I wonder if they actually will do divisions similar to like how they do it in Mexico, because they usually let women face off and men, and that's like not like a
maybe
weird, that's not like a weird thing that they do. That's not like a weird thing like it would be here.
Yeah,
in the U.S., but it'd be interesting.
Yeah, and then what was it? We had what was it? Hangman Page came out.
All right, cool.
Pac laid it into him that Page was not worthy.
Yes.
And Pac is right. Pac is amazing.
All hail Pac. All hail the bastard.
I miss Pac.
I miss Pac too. I really...
Fucking Real One had to be the one to push him out.
Yeah.
Real One versus Pac in AEW
Pac
as a
squashes
rematch.
Real One. We also had the Young Bucks come out.
All right.
And the Young Bucks announced pre-sale tickets.
For Double or Nothing, right?
Yes. We can get into that. They signed... Oh, fuck. Oh, that's yours. It's okay.
They signed the cord from Jimmy's mic that just attacked CJ.
No, I can see that we're talking. I just can't hear it. There we go. I can hear it.
So they signed the best friends from New Japan? Chucky T, who I feel like was someone in WWE.
Chuck Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me... It's Chuck Taylor. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was part of Billy and Chuck.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Wait, no.
No, is that Chuck Palumbo?
That's Chuck Palumbo.
Hold on. Let me...
I don't know who Chuck Taylor is, but
All right, I'm getting Converse right now, so hold on. I think I'm just...
Yeah, so Chucky T, and then they signed Trent Beretta, who's been making a lot of waves ever since his release in WWE, especially in the Impact Wrestling division, the Impact X division. You have him in New Japan, Ring of Honor, and now...
Chucky T was not in WWE.
He was not, huh?
He was in TNA for like a cup of coffee.
Oh, okay. I guess I was just thinking of Chuck Palumbo. But
unless you're thinking of Scott Taylor, that's Scotty Too Hottie.
No, I just thought
turn it up.
Maybe I'm combining them, but yeah, we have. So the tag team division is getting insane. So we have Young Bucks, we have the Best Friends. Then Lucha Brothers came out and literally murdered Matt and Nick Jackson by pile driving them into the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 tag teams. And then I'm gonna skip over to another segment. We have SCU come out. Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. They made a challenge to OWE, which was, I believe it was Shima who founded the organization. He trained under Ultimo Dragon, and then 2 OWE students. So I think that's going to be the Good Hearts.
All right, cool.
So between that, you also have them part of the tag team division. So the tag team division is really fleshing out. And then their women's division, which I'm also going to get into, you have Brandy Roach. She signed Aja Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, who was a tag team partner with Awesome Kong. She had a great stint in TNA, and then she also is a Japanese legend. Yuka Sakazuki? Something? Hold on, I have the name here. Yuka Sakazaki. There we go. she's a part of it as well, which is interesting. She's supposed to be an up-and-comer. They also signed Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
So Jimmy Havoc's like a really hardcore wrestler, something similar to a Joey Janela.
A little, yeah, kind of similar. He's a UK wrestler. He had, I believe, a tryout for WWE a while back.
Yeah.
But he didn't get it, which sucked because I really love Jimmy Havoc.
And
His
there's
character's sweet.
Yeah, and there's something I'm gonna. Do you guys watch the Nightmare Family YouTube channel? Because they revealed something that was really interesting, and I'm gonna bring that up in a little bit. But the last two they signed was Kylie Ray to the women's division.
Cool.
Was she? She was never in the Mae Young Classic. I thought she was. I was thinking of Cherry Bomb.
No, Kaylee Ray. Is that the name you're thinking of?
I'm saying Kylie Ray. She was never in the Mae Young Classic. I checked.
Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren is not in the Mae Young Classic.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Are you looking at the Bleacher Report for way too early predictions for WrestleMania 35?
Yeah, because I'm pissed at how little we had. All right.
That's fair. And then we have someone, her name was Nyla Rose, but they called her the American Kaiju.
That's pretty bad.
And I'm like looking like, this bitch is big.
Yeah.
But not like a Nia Jax big, but just like just
not Nia Jax big.
Like just looked like all muscle, and it was scary. And so there it looks like they're having a feud. And finally, Kenny Omega was revealed to be the latest addition to the AEW roster. And he's going to be facing off against Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing. So the updated roster is as follows. Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Cody, Adam Page, Pac, Chucky T, Trent Beretta, Sonny Kiss, Sammy Guevara, Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Scorpio Sky, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Britt Baker, Aja Kong, Brandy Rhodes, Kylie Ray, Joey Janela, MJF, Jimmy Havoc, Penelope Ford, the Strong Hearts, and Yuka Sakazaki. That is insane, the amount of people, talented people they have on the roster.
I mean, that's a full roster. I think that's, 32 people I counted? I'm splitting the tag teams when you're saying it. So,
yeah.
But I think that's about 32 by my count.
That's a lot. They already have a full-fledged...
That's a full-fledged roster.
Yeah, they're fleshed out their women's roster, their tag team roster, and they fleshed out their main event and mid-card scene. Double or Nothing looks huge because you already have SCU versus the OWE. You already have confirmed for Hangman Page versus Pac. And then it looks like we're having Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. We look like we're about to have Nyla Rose versus Kaylee Ray. And it also looks like we have the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers after that attack. This is exciting. And it shows because there were pre-sale tickets that you can get codes for that you can request. 12,000 have already been requested for what looks like a 14,000 seat arena.
So essentially, they got even more people from their all-in one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
originally the arena's 11,000 seats, but they're trying to push it to 14,000.
Well, it's 11,000 from just the stands and the floor, or just the stands?
I think from the stands itself.
Okay, so that means if you add floor stands for a wrestling show, which is normal, then
Then it would be around 14,000.
it'd be roughly about 14,000.
But this is insane. The pre-sale goes on Monday, and we'll have more information about it when it comes. But what do you guys think of this development?
I think it shows that WWE needs to be decently concerned.
Jimmy, your mic's not on.
Are you sure? Because I can hear
I
myself.
can hear him too, so.
Oh, okay. It wasn't popping up on the
I
thing.
think because I'm back here, that's why. Sorry.
Yeah, you might want to bring it closer.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I think that WWE needs to be decently concerned at this point.
There's also the rumor going around that Randy Orton is willing to listen to AEW for a deal.
That's something I want to bring up too.
So they might WWE might have to be seriously worried about being poached.
That's why I texted it in the group chat. So this way I knew when their contracts are up. Do we want to go into that now, or do we want to go into the AEW?
No, go into the contracts because I feel like that's important.
All right.
Because that's a big worry for WWE that AEW is going to start poaching
So
talent.
these are the current rumors that we have surrounding everything. So Randy Orton, as Joe and Jim mentioned, he said that he's open to talks with AEW should they approach him. His contract ends at the end of 2019.
That means by then they might have an actual TV deal already set up, and if they launch their debut TV, like let's say after Mania of the following year,
Yeah.
in 20 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2020. Randy Orton could pop up, and then that would be a really big hit.
Yes.
Orton was considered to be, a WWE guy, and
But there's also there could be maybe you don't know if there's heat maybe between Cody and Orton.
I don't think so.
Sometime in WWE.
I don't think there was ever heat between the two of them.
yeah, I don't think there was real heat.
Do you also want to deal with the baggage that Randy Orton comes with?
That's the thing. That's the main question. But he is still a great wrestler nonetheless, and it would be a great addition to
Also, he's a professional. I mean, I understand, we talked, a couple months ago about the whole thing that he did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I don't know. I think this is a little different. He's not going to be a contracted employee. He's not going to be a contracted independent. He's going to be Chris. He's going to be an employee. There's a strict code of contact that he would need to follow. As soon as he breaks that and they're allowed to fire him, he can't fight that in court.
Yeah.
It's a little different than what goes on with being a contracted
individual,
like they have in
That's
WWE.
why I wonder if he wouldn't leave WWE for that reason. He has total free reign at this point. He can pretty much do whatever he wants.
But the thing is, he's done everything. He might want to test his... Because there's never been a legitimate North American promotion in a long time.
Since WCW.
Since
legitimate WCW. Not, what happened in
TNA, Ring of Honor.
Not
the
2001 WCW. Not David Arquette
that.
World Champion.
Not when, it was clearly going to go down.
Yeah, Randy Orton grew up thinking that WWE was the only option. Now that there's another option, and a lot of people are using AEW as contract leverages. And then which is going to bring me into my next one. AJ Styles' contract ends April 2019.
If he doesn't get a new contract between now and by end of Mania, he's going to AEW.
It does look like AEW.
He's going to AEW. There's no way.
And that's a huge blow.
That's
to
that's a
roster.
really big blow because he actually, from the 2 years that he spent, almost 3 years.
It's been 3 years. 2016, 2017, 2018.
3 years.
Into 2019,
and for a year out of that, he was WWE champion.
So, he's been the face of SmackDown.
He's been a champion in WWE more than he has not been.
Which is saying something for his WWE career, which means he's guaranteed a Hall of Famer from that. But
yeah, because he was WWE champion from
November of 2017 till...
And even before that, he was...
almost November of 2018.
September. He was also champion from September 2016 to 2017.
To January 2017 when he lost to Cena at the Rumble.
Yeah, and then he was United States champion, I'd say around July to about November, to July to October-ish, and then he was back in the WWE Championship picture and held that belt for most of 2018. So for most of his WWE career, he has held the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
So it's going to be, WWE's going to might be able to recover from AEW just because they're consolidating the rosters in the next few months.
Yeah.
But it's going to be
a huge
scary.
blow.
You're going to have to replace AJ Styles, and really who on either roster looks like a ready-made maybe Drew McIntyre?
Maybe.
Someone
else I want to bring up, we do know Dean Ambrose is leaving April 2019, end of April, so he could make the Double or Nothing pay-per-view as well.
If it's true. I think it is bizarre that WWE
It's possible it's still a work.
It's possible it's a work.
It's possible, but it could also be that they're trying to get ahead of it before
Plus,
anything.
he might not make the Double or Nothing if they slap him with a no-compete.
Why would they slap him with a no-compete?
They can't slap him with a no-compete. If he runs out of his contract, there is no no-compete.
Yeah, that's only if they fire him.
If he breaks the contract, if Dean breaks the contract, then he would have a no-compete clause in there, and then that would be going into
either if he gets fired or if he gets released.
Well, if he gets fired, then there is no non-compete.
Oh, okay.
If Dean causes him to no longer be on WWE television in any sense and breaks his contract in any circumstance, he will then have to work out in court for his non-compete.
Yeah.
That's how that would work. If WWE fires him, which they would be idiots. They would be idiots, and I don't foresee that happening in this kind of sense. Or if he runs out of his contract. If he runs out of his contract, there is no non-compete. The same thing with Pac. Though at the time, they didn't really know if...
They didn't know what was going on with Pac.
Yeah, they didn't know, and that's why he didn't make All In. But,
No, he wanted to make his debut at Dragon Gate.
Yeah. Well, that at the end of the day, that's what it wanted. But, they had no idea if, that was going to be the case. If he could.
Someone else I want to bring up, the Usos' contract ends April 2019.
I don't think they're going. Do you really think
It's possible. There's rumors circulating that the Usos may not re-sign with WWE.
They've done it. everything.
They have done everything. That's why they might want to try it in a place where tag team wrestling is prominent. Look at the tag team division that you have on AEW. You have the Lucha Brothers. You have the Best Friends. You have Young Bucks. You have SoCal Uncensored. You have Good Hearts. There's a lot of great tag team wrestling there.
I think the Revival and the Usos will both be given tag team title runs to try and convince them to stay.
Yeah, and I think
they would have to be meaningful. They would have to be meaningful, and they would have to like maybe not the Usos so much because they've done it so much, but definitely for the Revival, they have to do it. For the Revival.
but the Revival they have until 2021. You know,
that's when their contract. Well, unless they
that's April 2021.
Unless they requested and they grant it because they
I
have
don't
nothing
think they would grant it.
The only one they were able to grant was Hideo Itami.
And they knew Hideo was just going back to Japan anyway, so...
Yeah. I think that he might go... I think it's possible for him to go back to All Elite Wrestling. Maybe not at Double or Nothing, but I think he will end up signed by the end of the year.
But maybe. It depends. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, the Usos... I think that's the reason why they're giving him the tag team title shot at Elimination Chamber.
And probably they'll win if we're still going by the assumption that Shane and Miz are going to dissolve very soon.
And then they had the rematch at Fastlane, and then that's when the heel turn can happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think the Usos are probably going to take the titles. I think that's how WWE is going to try and keep the Usos. Now, another name, I'm going to save one name for last. Another name that did pop up, Shinsuke Nakamura. His contract does end April 2019 as well.
It depends. Like it could be a similar thing with Kenta. Like he could be going back to Japan.
Yeah, but they signed Kenny, and Shinsuke did want that match with Kenny.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out. I think he could be All Elite too. It's possible.
I think that Shinsuke would do well in All Elite Wrestling.
I think he needs to either go or find some sort of lewd picture of Vince McMahon to blackmail him with, because that's the only way he's gonna get anywhere.
There's no way that he's gonna find a lewd thing. Like, I don't know. Is he gonna like entrap him and like Vince McMahon saying some racist shit? Like,
yeah, that could happen.
Almost
70-year-old men. You never know.
I don't know. I feel like if we're comparing Vince McMahon to other 70-year-old men, I feel like he has a little bit better wits about himself. He's trying to relaunch a football company. He's more focused on that than. I think he's got a little bit more of his wits.
Are we sure he still has his wits about him?
Because he does things stupidly for how wrestling is written currently, it's different.
I don't know.
I don't know. But who knows? It could happen.
The Good Brothers, their contract ends in May 2019. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think if AJ stays, they'll stay.
But like it's a good wrestling because I know Carl Anderson wanted to stay in the U.S. to spend time with his family and stuff.
And his hot Asian wife.
But like now that there's a promotion that's in North America as well with a lighter travel schedule.
Yeah, but they are getting more money though for doing that stupid botch thing on their network. Have you seen any of that?
Botchamania?
I watched.
It's not Botchamania. It's their own version of Botchamania.
It's called Botch Club, I think.
It's like Botchamania. It's pretty like I don't know.
I watched the first episode. I enjoyed it.
All right, like I don't know. I prefer Botchamania.
They're basically
personally.
rebooting Are You Serious from the old YouTube channel back in the day. I thought was great with the Road Dogg and Josh Matthews.
So like, when it comes to the Good Brothers, I feel like for at least Carl Anderson's sake, I feel like he was more likely to stay with WWE. He has a guaranteed money. He has like another avenue of like both income and entertainment and creativity to do that. And so long as he has Luke, then I think
then again they
no
could
problem.
still also stick with Finn.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends. It really does.
And then the last name I want to bring up, I know Joe will not like it. Brock Lesnar's contract is expiring after Mania.
There's no way that they're really interested.
If you're AEW, you are stupid to try and match the money that WWE or UFC is going to give Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. I think it's possible.
I think that they'll flirt with Brock. I think Brock will definitely flirt with AEW. There's no... Just similar to Randy Orton, but I think like Randy Orton might actually get a legitimate contract. There's no way. I really don't
I'm not
believe...
counting anything.
What's Brock going to do? Call up Cody and be like, hey, Suplex City, bitch. Go away, Brock. I'm about to block your number. Stop calling here.
Well, that's the thing. Brock Lesnar, right now, it's contract negotiations between WWE, UFC, and now AEW has entered the picture.
I don't think they're going to be able to match what the other two can offer.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to match whatever Brock...
Well,
UFC is going to offer so much money to Brock to come in and fight. And WWE is going to offer so much money about to keep him because we still live in an era where Vince McMahon thinks Brock Lesnar is a necessary attraction to put over the rest of the talent on the roster, but he doesn't put anyone over. He just sits there and suplexes and wins and sits there and smiles while Paul Heyman just cuts his promos and Brock does nothing except hold that piece of shit red title over
Joe!
I was enjoying that.
I know, but I need him to calm down. I will give him a rant episode, I promise, but not this one.
I'm cool. My rant. Here,
I'm mad that you cut that off.
This is the deal.
I'm really mad
if
about that.
Brock Lesnar beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, our episode after Mania is a rant episode.
That's fine.
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Fine.
I will literally put a mic. I will just set one mic. I'll set one mic and just have you go on a tear for an hour.
In fact, I'll do you one even better. We'll do a live reaction. As soon as it counts 3, we'll just turn on a mic next to me and record everything I say, and we'll just play it on straight loop in place of a show.
Okay, I can agree with that. I like that.
Okay.
But on the plus side, if Brock goes, more than likely Paul will go, and maybe Cody can snag Paul.
Or maybe Paul Heyman does the world a favor and sticks around and teaches Ronda Rousey how to cut a promo.
Wait, what if we see Brock Lesnar versus Pac?
God, no. Brock, you have to... No, because this is going to happen.
Brock
the
Lesnar
first time
versus Kenny
AEW that goes to Brock and says, all right, Brock, you have to lose. Losing? What is that?
It's a Sunny Kiss.
You have to lose to
They have
Aja
to
Kong.
put in his contract specifically, if he walks out of a match and doesn't lose in a proper way, he can be released from his contract with no legal repercussions.
Listen, Cody, you don't
That
understand.
needs to be in his contract in order for that to work.
Cody, you don't understand. I beat The Undertaker 3 times. I don't lose. No, Brock, you have to lose. No. I beat John Cena. I don't lose.
Really? What did Goldberg say?
Only Triple H, Goldberg, and John Cena beat Brock, except for The Undertaker low blow.
What
We're
about
going to talk
Roman
about that.
Reigns?
One time doesn't count. They failed to put him over 3 times.
It was 3 times that he technically lost to Roman Reigns and Roman didn't get the belt. Just say.
What are you talking about? He never lost. He only lost to Roman
Twice. The steel cage at greatest at
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, not 3 times.
Oh, then what am I thinking of? Then?
You're thinking of WrestleMania 31 where
Yeah,
Seth
probably.
Rollins beat Brock Lesnar.
Even
Yeah,
though
but he
whether
technically
it's
beat
2 or
Roman,
3
so-
times, I'm still tempted to just leap across the room and Superman punch Jimmy. Ooh-ah.
Anyway,
Well, I think that I don't know. I think if AEW can get Brock, that's going to be scary too.
if they somehow actually work out a reasonable contract, and let's say that Brock is willing to put people over in a real way, not WWE's way, in a real way.
I think Brock would expects indie wrestlers more than WWE big men.
I don't know if it's the respect thing, but
It's a better style that he likes to work with compared to...
Well, I
Look,
mean, the 3 best matches in the past couple of years has
Four.
been...
4. You have AJ, you have Finn, you have Daniel, you have CM Punk.
all of them were indie darlings.
The only one where he didn't have the best match was with Samoa Joe.
Because Samoa Joe is works more of like a big guy style. It's kind of a hybrid of the two.
Yeah, but AEW has a plethora of
Thora.
Yeah, of indie wrestlers that work that style.
He had a good match with Roman
Uh,
at 31.
that's not...
WrestleMania 31 was a solid
31.
match.
Okay.
And SummerSlam wasn't that terrible.
Okay. But like look at this. If Brock has a great match with Rollins as well, maybe he's better off on the indie scene.
But remember that like big man car wreck fatal 4-way that they had? Was it Brock, Roman, Joe, and Strowman? That was really entertaining.
That was great. Yeah.
So you know what? It's fine. Fine. You know what? Take him AEW.
Brock was barely in the match though.
Get some random indie company to just take Brock away. Get him far away from the WWE machine so Vince McMahon can't just bring him in whenever he wants a new feud.
Yeah, I
I was close that time. I was
Yeah,
really
you were
close.
I saw
Can't you
that.
just
I saw
let
the eyes.
Joe, as the champion, I'm exercising my power to let you rant.
Okay, and as
I'll
the
be
person
okay.
who controls the podcast, I'm asking you not.
I will mute you.
I will hold it together.
I promise.
I don't want him to hold it together. I want you to let loose.
Vince
No,
McMahon
not
doesn't
yet.
realize this, but Brock Lesnar leaving the promotion would be one of the best things for WWE. A, because you have that gigantic salary off your books, and now you can spread that money out to other people.
I bet you AEW can do that as well. You know, I think Brock would.
I think it depends because we have a glimpse of what the pay structure will be. It'll be based on what kind of talent you are, and it won't change based on your gender.
Yeah.
So if you're a main event star, let's say Brock Lesnar, and you're a main event star, and you're I don't know.
I think AEW would be stupid not to go after Brock Lesnar.
No, I think that they can pursue. I don't know if they can.
They can't match that salary.
Can't. No, so I don't know. I don't know what.
But that also depends on what Brock wants to do.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe Brock is tired of being in WWE.
We're tired of
him. If that was true in the case, then after he dropped to Roman, he should have just left out. But no, that's not.
They probably threw more money at him.
Yeah, because of Saudi Arabia. That was the only reason.
Oh yeah, Saudi Arabia's coming back.
Yeah,
that'll be
May.
After Mania? Oh, it's in May this time?
Yeah.
May and November, I think it is.
Yeah, but, they're trying to throw Saudi Arabia at Double or Nothing. Imagine.
Maybe you should just, have it in a different country. I feel like the longer you keep pushing, I feel like by year 3 or 4 of this Saudi deal, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I feel like they're already saying that, though.
Yeah.
So, it's just going to get even worse. I feel like you're only digging the hole deep. This is where AEW needs to be careful.
Yes.
TNA ran into this problem when they started poaching big stars from WWE with huge salaries. If you start trying to get too many guys with really big salaries, now you can't pay everyone else because you're running low on too many big guys. Eventually, people are going to start leaving because you can't get the same.
Well, out of the names I mentioned, which ones probably wouldn't go to AEW?
I don't see the Usos going.
The Usos?
I don't know.
The only 3 likely ones.
I don't see the Good Brothers entirely leaving. That's for me personally, because I feel like they've settled themselves in quite nicely into the network, having their show and stuff like that. They are getting money.
How about we go pure WWE guys that have never been in other promotions, that have never been associated with the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, that they have that history, because AJ Styles and the Good Brothers and Shinsuke all have historical ties with AEW from New Japan.
I could see Shinsuke going back to Japan because that's just the crowd he knows how to connect with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like...
Or the hardcore crowd.
Or just send him back to NXT.
Well, the NXT crowd is pretty much the AEW crowd. So he could probably connect to them on that level.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think it depends.
The 4 big names that I think we should look out for would be the Usos. Okay. Because they're WWE bred. So they could leave. Dean Ambrose, who is also on the indie scene, but not to how it was now. You have Brock Lesnar, and Randy Orton,
but not AJ Styles.
AJ Styles had. I'm not counting anyone with history to the Young Bucks or to Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes. I'm not counting anyone with that history because they're just as likely because they have friends in that company.
Yeah, but Randy Orton has the history with Cody.
There's a good point.
And I think Dean, because of his time in the Indies, might have some ties with some of the.
He might have ties with the Young Bucks.
He might have ties with Joey Janela because of CZW.
I think Joey Janela came after Dean Ambrose, though.
Yeah, but they could have been brought up. He could have been what do they have in Japan? What are those young boys? He could have been a young boy or something.
Maybe, but
and Ambrose worked with Cody in WWE a bit.
Oh yeah, a little bit, but not again. Randy is a friend with Cody.
What about Goldust?
Maybe.
I could see him making the jump to AEW.
I could see it if he's not really satisfied with whatever role he's being put in.
I think
he has a role.
I think he wants to be a producer, though. He doesn't want to be a wrestler. I think he wants to work as a producer role.
Isn't he producing now, though?
I don't know.
I could see him doing one more match with his brother. Maybe not against, maybe in a team.
Yeah.
They're propping up tag team wrestling over there.
Have Sandow go to AEW, the return of Team Rhodes Scholars.
I would love that. I would love that so
much.
Much.
That's where they're falling into TNA category. They can't poach
Cody's mustache.
They can't poach everyone from WWE. They have to poach
but
great
Sandow
talent.
hasn't been in WWE for a long time.
Yeah, but he wasn't a great WWE talent.
He was just criminally underused.
Yeah, I don't think, but it's wrestling though too, and that's what we got to consider too. They're getting the best athletes as well as the best characters.
So Ryback.
We're not talking about Ryback.
If Brock Lesnar goes to AEW and Ryback returns, I'll throw a party. Ryback will be into the Universal Championship scene tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, that actually would happen.
But I think
they would have to settle the whole pay thing because that was a reason Ryback left.
The Raw after Mania, you're just gonna hear "Feed me," and I'm
not gonna lie, I'll mark out.
I'll lose it. You'll see me start throwing chairs.
I definitely think AJ, the Good Brothers, and Dean Ambrose are the most likely to go to AEW.
When's Finn's contract up?
I don't know.
He's not leaving.
He could.
I don't think
depends on where this new push gets him.
Exactly.
I think he might win he'll probably win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
It's a consolation prize, though.
Because,
but it's still a prize.
It's a consolation prize.
Unless look at where he's been.
It's like a participation trophy, Jim.
Unless he loses.
Are you diminishing the Intercontinental Championship?
I'm saying this is how WWE views it, and
unless he
wrong.
loses the Intercontinental Championship match and he has a feud with Rollins. Once Rollins
that I could see. I could see.
And that would Rollins versus Balor headlining SummerSlam, just like it did.
No, I think it's something better.
2 years ago.
Rollins versus AJ.
That's if AJ doesn't leave after Mania.
And
that's if
and also AJ would have to jump brands.
That's the thing too. Well, Superstar Shakeup, my guy. That's the crazy thing. The reason why we're so sure about Mania 2 is because we don't know who AEW is going to pick up.
Yeah, but whoever they're going to pick up shouldn't have much of an effect on Mania because all the big people for Mania are all under contract.
Here's the thing. This is the thing I want to mention. So we have now 4 executive vice presidents: Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks. The head of talent relations is Christopher Daniels.
Oh yeah, Daniels can pick up really good talent.
Exactly.
Daniels
and Styles and Joe both have connections to him.
Exactly. That's the big thing. Literally, AJ's kids, his first kid's middle name is after Christopher Daniels, and vice versa, Christopher Daniels to AJ Styles. They are like brothers.
Plus, I'm sure the head of advertising eventually will be Claire Lynch, so you can't ignore that connection.
Shut up. Shut up, Joe. My God.
I'm just saying that they have that history, and that's why you're not really poaching, because they wouldn't be poaching just like ex-WWE talent. They'd be poaching talent that was like big, that were underutilized but made big names on the indie scene. The only ones that really haven't would be the Usos, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar. Because I'm not even going to throw Dean Ambrose out there because he's that indie credibility. Between those 4, it's possible.
They're definitely. I would say that they definitely would flirt the ideas with going to AEW. I feel like that's what.
And there's a lot of benefits there for them.
There is a lot of benefit.
I personally think the least likely is Randy Orton.
I don't. At the end of the day, I find it hard. Maybe for Brock, the most.
Yeah, I think Brock logistically would be difficult, but I don't really know if I see Orton going. I think Orton, he's just in a really good situation right now. He can like ding up his shoulder and just take 6 months off if he wants to. Or he can just they might not have any plans for him after Mania. Who knows? Maybe they just have him take some time off. Have him come back as a badass babyface in the summer.
I don't know. That's why I'm really curious about that. Those 4, Jimmy and Jay, Brock and Randy are like the biggest question marks, as to whether they would go, because they are pure WWE guys.
If news breaks that if one of those guys does happen to flirt with the idea of being in AEW, would actually consider it, and there has been some sort of credible source that is actually happening, then I'll give you.
I think I've heard the Usos connected the least to AEW out of those 4.
They are the least connected, but they would benefit the most. Out of the names that I mentioned, the Usos would benefit the most from leaving WWE and going to the Indies, specifically AEW, as a tag team to build out that roster.
See, the thing with Randy and Brock is, so the luxury they have in WWE is they can not show up for 6 months and immediately, once they come back, get put right into another picture. With AEW, you wouldn't have that luxury because someone would step up and take your spot. So if Randy Orton and Brock are both guaranteed their spots and their money in WWE, I don't know if I'd see them giving that up. Plus, Brock's going to go get his ass whooped by Daniel Cormier after WWE's done with him anyway, so. AEW might not want him when, his face is all swollen, he's got a concussion, bitch.
No matter what, Brock Lesnar's a draw.
Exactly.
No matter what. He's maybe not a draw as a champion, but he is a draw. And to casuals, this is how they grab him on a TV deal. Brock Lesnar's on the show, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho. And have them, keep the big name talent to a minimum, but get the big name talent. If you're getting I'm not worried about the Usos, because with the Usos, they can build up the tag team division and they would fit in fine.
Yeah,
I was about to call them, that would probably be their name. They'd be the Fatus or the Fatus.
The Fatus.
Yeah.
Fatus.
But Orton and Brock and Chris Jericho would be the eyes to bring to casual audiences.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm not denying it. I just, once we see that thing, it's like that's when real shit hits the fan. I will say that. I think having that credibility of, like, there's an actual contract and there's real negotiations going on right now because contracts are really being disputed. They're being talked over. Who are they going to who's WWE going to get axed so they can give more money and give better opportunities to, those 4 main guys or 5 main guys? Because if you can count, the Revival in that situation, because technically
they're not up till 2021. They're not even in the conversation.
Yeah, but if they keep asking for the release and then they're not they could dispute their contract.
Look, literally the only thing the Revival would be able to do is pull a Neville.
And just not show up.
Right, but then they wouldn't show up until their contract expired. They're better off just...
Well, I mean, like I'm saying, like, they could offer, like, if WWE would keep axing them until, like, they can offer better contracts. But what would WWE want more? Would they want the Usos more, or would they want the Revival?
I honestly don't think they care about either.
Well, I think that they would have to.
I think it should be the
AEW.
Usos at the end of the day.
I think they would have to if AEW is trying
because
to
there is one person that still has enough connection to the Usos, even though he's not around, and that's Roman Reigns. Roman's still in the company. They're gonna try and keep his family.
My thinking is that they're trying to push tag team wrestling as a result of AEW, but WWE is known to poach and lock talent into contracts so they would not work for other companies.
I know, but if they pull a Neville and don't show up, and they want to either renegotiate their contracts so they can have a better standing and want better things, like they can't just hostage people essentially.
They can. They most certainly can.
Contracts like the Revivals, they absolutely can.
Yeah.
They literally. It's like
they did that with Neville.
It's like when you have a player that plays for a team and says, I'm not going to play for you. The team can just say, fine, go home. We're not going to send you anywhere else. We're just going to let you sit there and rot, and we got no problem just paying you to stay home. Especially in the sense of a team like the Revival, Vince could be like, fine, I have no problem not putting you on TV every week. It's not like I'm going to need to. It's not going to be a huge loss the way they're using it right now.
Yeah, and
the tag team division needs a total reboot post-Mania. That's plainly obvious.
Well, everything needs a reboot as of right now.
Get rid of Gable and Rude. Get rid of all these makeshift tag teams. Have the stables of SmackDown be the Bar, the New Day, and the Usos, and have the stables of Raw be like the Revival, the AOP once Akam comes on that chart.
Yeah.
Once Akam comes back, and maybe a couple NXT tag teams
Sanity.
in there. Sanity. Get them have the tag team division be a core group like it was in the 2000s. A core group of 4 or 5 teams that just keeps putting on good matches. Don't worry about throwing random people together. Just stick it where it needs to be and just let it be. Let someone else take over the tag team division, maybe. Let someone else book the tag teams properly. I don't know. Like Edge and Christian. They probably would know how to book a tag team pretty well.
That's the thing. I think that WWE is going to have a really difficult time keeping certain talent. And the Usos, they're only called back, what was it? Well, they're reversing the Bar. They haven't held the championship since, Mania? So, I don't know. It's a very uncertain time for WWE.
We said that going into 2019 that this is a year where big things are going to happen. And
yeah,
things are happening. It's just
you can't talk about a major change and more opportunities. You have to actually do it.
They are doing it.
We have to. Yeah, AEW is definitely doing it, and I'm more shocked and displeased by how WWE is reacting to it.
They're still not acting like it's a threat.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. But
are they not acting like it's a threat? I feel like they are acting like it's a threat.
It's acting like it's a threat, but at the end of the day, Vince still thinks that he's the alpha, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, but he does see a threat.
He sees it as competition.
I think he sees it as a competition for stars, not a competition for ratings.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he thinks that people are going to tune out in favor of AEW.
Which is exactly why Raws and SmackDown look really bad. It's because Vince has probably been booking it, and that's what he's thinking. This is actually good to me.
Or the other thing could be, maybe they're flushing out all the crap now, and once Mania's over and the Fox deal kicks in, and AEW starts becoming more prominent, where they just say, "All right, balls to the wall. Now is when we."
That's a terrible way of doing it, though.
It is, but WWE has done more short-sighted things before.
I feel like Triple H is the only one that cares about this because NXT has been booming. And for some reason, it's just...
When AEW becomes a threat, it's going to be Triple H versus Cody Rhodes in the ratings war. That's what's going to end.
Another basically another Monday Night War.
I can't see a Monday Night
War.
War.
I
can see it's a wrestling warfare.
Well, no, I'm saying like not an actual Monday Night War, but I'm saying like something on the lines of that.
It's definitely more of a content warfare, really. It's gonna be.
But I don't
put on the better wrestling show.
But no one's
where
gonna.
Where the eye's gonna go at the end of the day. It's
but
not gonna be which show on a particular night are there gonna be more people watching this show over this show. It's gonna be overall who's watching WWE more than AEW.
Yeah, but that's not gonna work though, because people like Tuesday through Thursday. Those are like dead hours. Most people watch shows on Mondays and Fridays. And WWE has that monopoly.
Yeah, but AEW is not going to put on shows during those times of the day.
The only time we're going to get a ratings war is if they go head to head.
I disagree, because we live in an age now where people are watching slightly less television on actual television, and we're watching it on the internet.
I think
the ratings on there don't really apply.
I don't think television show ratings is what justifies this. I think it's going to come down to. I think AEW is going to be the it's going to be that's going to be the company of the future. WWE is going to try and figure out who's what more eyeballs are going to what. AEW is going to be focusing more on merchandise sales, ticket sales, online.
Because they're not worried about being competition. They're worried about their product.
Because they already have their money. They don't need to worry about. Obviously a TV deal would help. They don't need to worry about a TV company coming and begging them and giving them a bunch of money. If they get it, it'd be great.
No,
but they already have
strong
financial
backing. They can put it on like YouTube, or they can put it on
Or they can create their own streaming service to rival the WWE network.
And they also have connections to Fight services, the Fight TV.
That's to put on pay-per-views though. I don't know.
They put on shows. Ring of Honor has shows on Fight TV. Same with New Japan.
Yeah, but you can watch Ring of Honor for free on Ring of Honor website though.
I'm just saying that they have connections to Fight TV. Okay. I think, I'm gonna agree with Joe with this one though, because it's not WWE is gonna look at it like ratings. AEW is gonna look at it as just them focusing on their product.
But I don't understand why. My point is that exact point though, is that it's not gonna be about ratings. It's gonna be about who's gonna put on the better product, where the eye is gonna go. That's not ratings. Ratings is when you're viewing it just on television alone, and how many people...
AEW, that's just gonna be about it. WWE is still stuck in the old school mentality.
Exactly, and I think that's the wrong place where the war is gonna take place. The war.
I'm saying the ratings, but I'm saying that
content overall, and where people are gonna be wanting and sharing and liking everything that's AEW over WWE.
Yeah, but you can't just disregard the fact that they're going to get the TV deal, and they do need to put on the ratings.
I'm not saying that they're not going to get it. I'm just saying that in the landscape of where we're living now, that's not the biggest driving factor in this. Well, it's not, because we don't live in that.
It kind of is though, because on WWE's side, they're going to look at it as ratings warfare.
Okay,
they are,
and that's their side, but that's from AEW side and from just our side in general as consumers. That's not how we're going to be viewing it. We're going to be viewing it in every aspect of it. We're going to be watching Being the Elite. We're going to be watching the product as a whole and everything about it, because it's a brand. It's not, how many times do you compare watching, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and watching the network? How would your consistency with that be?
Joe?
I mean, I feel like I haven't been watching Raw and SmackDown just because of the time commitment, and it's really just not quality through the whole 3 hours.
Exactly, though. You're not really watching...
Raw needs to be short for 2 hours.
No, I agree with you, and that's a different conversation entirely. But as, the brand WWE, how often would you say you watch it?
I feel like...
Overall, in every aspect, whether that's on YouTube, Hulu, whatever that... because you want a shorter version of Raw and SmackDown, NXT, all that stuff. All of it.
I still predominantly watch WWE over everything else. I feel like I've watched more retro content the last few weeks than I have current content.
Okay.
Just because, I'll watch clips on YouTube for Raw and SmackDown, and then I still try and catch NXT every week, or I'll watch an old pay-per-view, or I feel like I get more engaged with the current content when the pay-per-views roll around. But everything in the middle is kind of just it's fluff at this point.
But you would say that you view it more as you go to this particular thing to watch that, and you go to this one if you're really watching that. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what I'm saying. It's more of it's a content war. It's not a ratings war.
That's a content war.
Okay, then I don't understand why we're disagreeing. I don't know where the fight is.
I think you're misunderstanding my point.
Maybe I am. Then try to explain it.
My point is that I'm agreeing with Joe is that AEW is going to focus on themselves. They already said they're not going to be competition. And I remember you brought up ratings where WWE is going to be comparing ratings, or in general, it's going to be ratings war, because you did say that earlier in the podcast. I'm saying that doesn't matter, because if they're going to have it on Tuesday,
Well, it's going to be... It's not going to be the ratings war that we initially say, because we also said it before that it was, Monday Night War, and it's not going to be like that.
It's a different Monday Night War. It's it's a wrestling war.
It's not going to be a ratings war, though.
I'm not saying ratings. I'm not. I'm saying it as, because if you want to compare Monday and Friday ratings are completely different content. Those are the big times. No one watches TV Tuesday through Thursday. The ratings with Tuesday through Thursday shows are completely different compared to Monday and Friday. That's why you have Monday Night Football. You have, Friday Night Cable and everything like that. Those
also why you have Tuesday night basketball and you have Thursday night football. So my point that I'm trying to make is that which at the end of the day we're agreeing on. I'm still confused on my fighting about it, but we're agreeing. At the end of the day, we are agreeing. We're agreeing that it's a content.
It's a content and brand ratings
thing.
Ratings aren't going to matter except to WWE. That's my point, though, because
okay, I'm not saying that. Disagreeing.
Yeah, but WWE, they literally are changing their business model to be a TV ratings thing. So that's how they're going to look at it. So ratings to them is going to be a huge factor. So if they see,
but they didn't change it. They're still driving. They still have that though. That's not changing. Changing is when you're taking your content and...
No, their business model. Their business model is going to be a TV ratings thing, because they're not going to live houses.
But it's always been TV ratings, though. It's never been not that.
Look, I remember Remember, Joe, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, how they were changing their business model.
Yeah, because... Well, the Fox deal especially, I think that...
They're changing their business model
because that's what's making Vince feel so confident. Is that he still has the backing of Fox, and the new NBC Universal deal that's kicking in for Raw.
Well, yeah, because they have a huge money deal, and then they got the two biggest
with
nights
TV
of
deals.
TV.
But that's why he doesn't view them as much of a threat, because he's going to be like, oh, we still have all this money coming in. We still have over 1 million subscribers on the network. That's why he's looking at like, oh, AEW's not a threat. Yeah, they might get a TV deal, but they don't have Fox. They're gonna get Turner. Turner's not as big as Fox. What are you gonna watch? Something that's on Fox 5, or are you gonna try and find TNT or TBS?
No, what I'm gonna do is go online and watch it from there. And
but
if it's better,
they're not gonna get an online thing right away. They're not. Hulu's not gonna sign them. Same with Netflix. And
no, if
they have to prove themselves.
I'm not saying that they're.
Well, Netflix also might get heat from Lucha Underground if they would get involved, and Hulu would get heat from WWE.
Yeah,
because they both have.
Lucha Underground though is dead in the water though.
From the Netflix perspective, probably because no one. Unfortunately, what I think we've learned from that experiment is that no one can binge watch a wrestling television over and over again like that.
Yeah, but Netflix has also had a history, and they have tried it where they have released episodes every single week.
Yeah, they could have done that, but they didn't do that for new content. They did that for the old episodes because when they got that deal, the third.
I'm not talking about wrestling. I'm not. I'm talking. They've actually done that for their Netflix shows.
No, I know that. I'm understanding that.
I'm not saying seasons. I'm saying they've actually released singular episodes every week.
No, I understand that. If you let me finish, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that they didn't go through with that. They just got the first 2 seasons and didn't ask, hey, after like a couple days after your episode drops on El Rey, we'll take it on Netflix or something like that. That didn't happen. It was just the 2-season drop, and then once the 3rd season was gonna end, a couple months after that, then the 3rd season was gonna drop on Netflix. But that didn't happen because as we can learn, is that you can't binge watch wrestling, and that was kind of the problem.
Yeah, but I'm not saying they're gonna even follow that model. I'm saying that if they were ever going to do anything, they would do something like they would have something get dropped every week, but I don't even think they're going to go after those streaming services. The only one that would be logical is Hulu, and Hulu's going down under.
Hulu's not going down under. Where are you getting this information from?
I think Hulu is not...
Hulu, when we're talking about like all these streaming services popping up and they're getting increasingly more expensive and you're going to have to cut which ones you're going to, I mean, then it depends, because there's certain things Hulu offers that Netflix doesn't. It's at a cheaper rate, even with the commercials with it, and it depends. But they're not going away anytime soon. To say that Hulu's going away faster than Netflix is not being true.
I think that Hulu. The thing is, Hulu relies on the TV content. Hulu relies on cable too much.
All right, but they drop the episodes literally a day after
they
debut, and that's still a good bonus, even if you try to binge watch it.
I'm just saying that Hulu. I don't know if Hulu would be the best idea to go after.
I mean, but the thing is that Netflix wouldn't be either.
I'm not saying Netflix would be.
I'm
saying TV. I don't know where they're gonna go.
I just think that if they're trying to be the wrestling company of the future, they should consider doing something more with these streaming services, because that's where the real money and that's where real people are watching wrestling, especially their main,
They're better off just launching their own
demographic.
I think they're better off just launching their own at that point, because we have seen success with that, at least with WWE, with the network.
Well, yeah, because WWE, if you're into that product, it has literally everything that you want, from like the earliest,
yeah, but
promotions, early WWE stuff, the last days of WCW.
I think AEW could also benefit from that, because they can have all, like, they're being the elite shows. They can have Ring of Honor and AAA content too.
They can create that on a different platform. They don't have like that kind of money to go and create.
What are you talking about? They got $1 billion backing. They could totally do that.
Yeah, for contracts and for getting stadiums to house their shows, not for freaking.
If Tony Khan can look at it as a good business investment, and we're saying a couple of years.
Yeah, but you're no, because you're also got to think of infrastructure. You have to think of all that stuff and going, and it's
Joe,
just too much.
Can you just do something? I'm tired of arguing.
I think we just end the show.
I mean,
done.
we're almost 2 hours in, but I think the bottom line, the final question I want to bring up is, when will it come to a point? Will it come to a point in AEW's existence that Vince McMahon looks at Triple H and says, "All right, NXT is clearly doing a lot better. 205 Live has gotten more viewership since you took over. Let's take the ball and run with it and see what you can do with it."
Until the day he dies. That's my opinion. I don't, because Vince is a stubborn old man and he will die trying to make this thing work. That's my opinion. I mean, there's never been a scenario that I've foreseen where he would have to change. Yeah, you can make the argument for, I guess, the Attitude Era, but I mean, at the end of the day,
he kind of fell into the Attitude Era.
He did.
He just got lucky that he had two of the most charismatic superstars in WWE history working under the same roof at the same time.
But I don't know.
And Disney TV PG isn't even the way to go either, because you'd lose. I feel like WWE's critical thing right now is that younger demographic. I think they're going to try and stay family friendly.
The business model is that once you get them young, you have them for life. That's at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. It's no different than what Disney and Nickelodeon have been doing for years.
And hardcore indie wrestling is not going to appeal to the kid that has, a John Cena shirt and is asking his dad to get him tickets.
He's 18 and realizes that this is a too colorful looking shirt. I want a black Bullet Club T-shirt from Hot Topic. So yeah.
No, he wants a New Day Bootios T-shirt. Is what he wants, but. It's going to be this could be the biggest. This could be the most important year in WWE's existence.
Agreed.
On how well they do and how they respond to it. On how well AEW does and how WWE responds to it.
Do you have anything to add, buddy?
Nope.
No?
No.
Alrighty then. We'll end it.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the big three, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.